Welcome to the workshop. It's been a little while since I've done a live stream. Just a little while. So it's good to be back on the live stream. I've had a busy time over the past few weeks. We can chat about that on the live stream. And yeah, we can talk about whatever you want today, but I thought it would be fun as it is now the spooky season is almost upon us to start talking about that, to start talking about the preparations we're making in this very room for a Halloween haunt, which is going to be coming up very soon, and you know, all that other cool stuff. So that's what I thought we would talk about this evening. I just realized I need to turn another light on because it's looking, there we go, that's better. That's how the lighting should look. I've got too many lights in this space now since I converted it to make it more of a studio space. It has, there's a lot more to do to get things lit up. So I'm gonna grab this and make sure that I can read your comments when it's time to do so. Buddy, hi, welcome. You are the first one here, that is true. You are the first one. Welcome, how have you been doing? Hopefully well. And what I would say is, as always, you know, throw your questions in chat if you've got questions for me. Hey, Born of the Awesome Gamer, hello, how are you? I know you were asking me to do a live stream, so here it is. The live stream is here, ready to go. Eddie, hey dude, how are you, man? I was thinking about you just a couple of days ago and wondering how you were doing, and I was going to reach out, and here you are. Good to see you, sir. Yeah, so we're back on the live stream. I was saying that it's been a little while since I've done a live stream. There's been a lot going on for me. I've been producing some other content. I've been in the edit suite a lot, doing editing, and work is very busy, to be honest with you. And also, there's a lot of prep going on for Halloween season. So yeah, a lot happening there as well. Buddy's asking, how is everyone? Let Buddy know how you are and how you're doing. And as always, throw any questions in chat that you may have. Any questions that are on your mind, anything you want to talk about. If there's anything about any of the previous videos I've done over the past few weeks that you want to ask me questions about. Hey, Margot, how are you? Good to see you, sir. How's things? How's things? Buddy, me too. I'm trying to figure out a date to film my Wolf Fighters movie. Yeah, you were saying that you were doing that movie. So yeah, I hope that's going well. Can I make a Doors 2 figure, please? A Doors 2 figure. You have to tell me what that is. I'm sorry if I don't understand what it is, but you have to explain more in chat. Margot, good to have you on the live stream. Am I pronouncing that right? That's what I've always said in my head. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that the right way. So let me know. Let me know if I need to pronounce that differently. I am. Nailed it. Good. Good. And folks on the live, you should know Margot is a pretty awesome 3D animator, and we had a pretty funny story of how we met online. It was to do with being on Velocicoaster and watching the incredible animation that they'd done of the Velociraptors, and so that was a pretty cool story. Share it another time, but it was fun times. And it's cool that you're joining the live stream. FCA Studios, hi! How are you this evening? How are you all doing? It's good to have you guys here. Oh, Doors from Roblox 4 too. Okay, I'll have to check that out so I understand more. FCA Studios, welcome. Good to have you here. It's good to have everyone here. Thank you. And always good to have a chat and a conversation. So one of the things I was going to talk about this evening was just the process of making a home haunt. So you may know that for many years I've made all sorts of home haunts back in the UK when I used to live there, and here in the United States. I have done all sorts of Halloween adventures. And that has been an experience in itself. So I'm always interested in, what do people on the call like? What do people here today on this live stream like in a home haunt? What do you enjoy? What do you enjoy in any kind of Halloween experience? What experiences have you had or have you been to? I'm really interested to know. And what have you enjoyed the most? What do you not like? What do you think would be a really good thing to do or not? And I have a few thoughts of my own on that as well, some opinions about what I really enjoy and what I don't enjoy. And maybe you don't even like Halloween at all. I can't imagine that, but maybe you're one of those folks that's like, nah, Halloween, it's not my thing, not my thing. But so yeah, let me know in the chat what you like and what you don't like, and some of the things that that are super cool. I'll start. I really like story-driven stuff. So what I mean by that is I really like it when the idea that's behind the experience that you're creating or making is something that really, really grabs you even before you walk in. So the anticipation, the excitement for it, the scariness of the idea is already really strong before you even walk in the door, before you get in the haunt itself. So that would be, for me, one of the things that I think is really important. And then having something be story driven. Oh, Eddie's just saying, good to see me. Like to hear your thoughts on what you like and what I don't like for home haunts. Yeah. Yeah, I like something that has a story behind it. I'm less of a fan of jump scare after jump scare after jump scare. Not that I don't mind that, because I mean, who doesn't like a good jump scare? But what I mean is, if it's all just jump scares and there's no story and cohesiveness to it, then I think that it falls apart there. And actually, I think that you can do an awful lot with very little when you're building something yourself, if you can craft it around a good story. So you don't need perfect props. You don't need, it doesn't need to be, Universal Studios level quality, because sometimes the idea of something is more powerful than what you see. It's kind of like that classic movie trope of what you don't see is almost more scary than what you do. And so that simplicity matched with a good scary idea can really help something to come to life. Margot saying, I'm noticing a bigger trend of storytelling with home haunts now. Love seeing people have pre-shows to set up the theme park and immersion. Always curious to hear what folks do, especially on a budget. Yeah, I love that. Pre-show, I think, is so important. I've done haunts, and maybe this isn't something to be proud of, but I've done haunts where the pre-show has built it up so well that people are too scared to go in after the pre-show, because they see the pre-show and they're like, often kids are like, this is too much for me. I'm not going to go in yet. And again, you want people to go in, but also if you grab people before they've even walked in the door, and then of course you do have to make sure you deliver. That's the other part. So it's one thing to have a great pre-show, but if you then don't deliver on the expectation, then people are going to walk out feeling like it never got there, it never got them quite where they were going. So that's an important balance too. You set up the idea in that pre-show, in the experience beforehand, and then you've got to kind of take them there, but go one further with the experience. Ecto1NJ. Ecto1NJ is on there. Matt, you're my hero. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. Buddy, Matt, on Halloween, what is your favorite movie or activity to do? Mine will be busting a ghost. Cool. Since moving to the US, one of my favorite activities to do is to go. I mean, my kids are a bit older now, so they've almost aged out from trick-or-treating. But there's a really cool area not far from us where just kind of the whole town turns out and goes out on the street dressed up. And everyone's trick-or-treating and everyone's dressed up. So that whole experience of being on the street with so many people that are all dressed up for Halloween, I love that experience. I think partly because when I was a kid, I watched E.T. and it had something similar to that in it, and I always thought, "Gosh, I really want to go to the US and have that experience." And so I love that part. And then the other part that I love is I love running the haunts every year. Running my own haunt is just something I really enjoy. I get a lot of pleasure from seeing other people have fun from something or get a great experience from something that I've created. That's incredibly satisfying and rewarding. And possibly the biggest thing I kind of live for in my life is this idea of, can I make something that will get other people excited or give them a rewarding experience is what motivates me in my life, really. So yeah. Um, Borna's asking me, do I wish to be in a Ghostbusters movie? Sure, who wouldn't want to be in a Ghostbusters movie? I'd love to be in a Ghostbusters movie. By the end of Halloween, after I've done my haunt, I'll probably look quite like a ghost. I'll be exhausted and drawn and tired. And so, yeah, they could put me in as a ghost. That's what they could do. It's a good question. Eddie's asking, are there any key differences to Halloween in the UK versus the US? That is a great question. And it's, before I answer the question, it's kind of worth knowing that the UK often in some things follows the US behind by about 10 years. So some trends and some things that are really successful and big over here really kind of kick off a bit later there. So, and Halloween really, and somebody always fact checks me, so please fact check me. But my understanding is Halloween is really an Anglican kind of religious festival, or at least it marked the day before All Saints' Day, so All Hallows Eve, and it was traditionally the night where the spooks would come out, the evil spirits would come out, and you would carve some kind of vegetable into a scary face and put a candle in it to scare these spirits away. And I'm pretty sure that that originated in Europe. And when that tradition obviously came over here with European immigrants, that tradition became, this whole idea of going door to door and trick or treating was just not something that I ever saw happen at home. It's something I saw happen on TV in America. And so it's something I wanted to do, if that makes sense. And so this idea of trick or treating started to become something that we've begun to do in Britain, but it just doesn't happen in the same way. I mean, it's a lot colder for a start at this time of year than it often is in parts of the US. And certainly in California, for instance, where E.T., of course, was set. And the whole community doesn't get behind it like they do here in the US. So it's a big, big deal here comparatively. It doesn't get celebrated in the same way. But Walmart bought a big supermarket chain in Britain called Asda. And as soon as they bought that chain, a whole bunch of Halloween stuff started appearing in stores. So like all the stuff that you see here in the US, and I'm assuming it's the same in Canada, all of the animatronics and the masks and the toys and all of the Halloween things that come out here as part of that whole Halloween lead up. I mean, we have Spirit Halloween here in the US that pops up in all those empty stores. That stuff started to come into Britain, but it's still nowhere near the level that it is in the US. And we have another holiday in Britain called Guy Fawkes Night, Firework Night, Bonfire Night, we call it. It's on the 5th of November, and it is it's actually a commemoration. This is a bizarre holiday. It's a commemoration of Guy Fawkes being captured and burned at the stake for trying to blow up the Houses of Parliament. That's what Guy Fawkes Night is. We celebrate that on November the 5th. The phrase that you learn when you're growing up in Britain is remember, remember, the 5th of November. And that is a night where we will light bonfires and traditionally burn an effigy of Guy Fawkes on the bonfire, if you can believe it. And So the door-to-door thing that happened in Britain before trick-or-treating started to happen, and it still really isn't there, is that kids would make what we called a guy, which was like this effigy that was like, they'd get an old shirt and an old pair of trousers and stuff them with newspaper or something, and put and what ended up happening, they put a Halloween mask on it and go from door to door and say, penny for the guy, penny for the guy, because they want to, make money to buy fireworks, because you let fireworks off on bonfire night. So, yeah, strange holiday. But very cool. And we have fireworks celebrations all over Britain on the 5th of November. But having moved to the US and having experienced fireworks celebrations in the middle of the summer for 4th of July, I prefer sitting in my t-shirt by a lake watching fireworks to being wrapped up in a big jumper on a freezing cold damp night and watching fireworks. There's a big difference between the two. But yeah, so I mean, back to your question, Eddie. The differences are really that it's definitely more commercialized here. It's definitely a bigger deal here, but we still do cool things in Britain. And actually, we're talking about haunts. There's some of you may have heard of the Merlin Group. They run all the Legoland Discovery Centers and Legoland parks and Sea Life Centers in the US and in the UK and in Europe. And they also have several large theme parks in the UK, and they have some great haunts, like really good story-driven haunts for the Halloween spooky season over there. And like, they're not as good from a scenic level as things like Universal, but from a story-driven level and an immersiveness level, I think they may even be better. I've done some really fun, really fun haunts at Alton Towers. One of the best was, and it was like, I think you had to be 18 to go in it. The idea was that you go in and you have this pre-show and you're in this post-apocalyptic world where this kind of virus has taken over everything, and the only people left alive are people that live in underground, because you can't go in the light because it kills you because of this virus. And you go into this room and you very quickly realize you've been lined up, and there are all people on screens with cameras, and they're all like pointing at you, and they're putting bets on who's going to survive from this group of you. And then they take you into the next room, and then they stand you by all these doors with your backs to the door, every single one of you, and you don't get to stay with your party. So what will happen is a random door will open, you will be grabbed and pulled in, the door will close, and then you just get shoved into this maze. And it doesn't have one direction, so you can go through it from multiple directions. And like, people experience different characters. Everyone, when they come out, has had a completely different experience to each other. And that was super scary and very, very, very fun. Anyway, there you go. That was a very long answer to your question, Eddie. I hope that answered your question. I hope you're still even here listening. Tony, hi Tony. Hey, amazing haunted house. Really impressed by it. I wish I could have seen it. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that. And I think Tony's probably referring to the Ghostbusters haunt that we did last Halloween. If you haven't seen that, it's on my channel. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. And you can find that video. There's a video of last year's haunt, which was Ghostbusters themed, and also a video of the haunt that we did the year before, which was Jurassic Park themed or Jurassic World themed. Both of those were super fun. So yeah. Buddy's saying, I would love to be in a Ghostbusters movie. Ghost Corps, please sign us up. Yeah. Sign us both up, buddy. Get Ghost Corps to sort that out for us. Borna saying, just saying, great job getting 10k subs. Thank you, Borna. I appreciate that. Will this make you angry if I tell you my age? We don't need to share ages. It's okay. It's fine. You can be however old you want to be. I'm still 10 years old, really, inside. I never grew up. That's why I do all this crazy stuff. Let's see. Buddy, I think you may be reacting to our crazy British traditions. Eddie saying, remember the 5th of November? Spot on. Buddy saying, haven't been busting a ghost because they're not coming out like they used to. But when it comes close to Halloween, they will come out non-stop. I have something to do. Yeah, that's true. You will. Last year, I actually dressed up as a Ghostbuster, and everybody that was dressed as a ghost, I in fact, my wife was dressed as a ghost, so I went out chasing her to catch her with a trap. And then if there was anyone else around that was dressed as a ghost, I kind of sidled up to them and said, watch out, because I'm going to catch you. And people found that quite funny. In fact, some people saw me that were dressed as ghosts and ran away, which was super fun. Okay. Clay. Hey, Clay, how are you? Nice to see you on the live stream. Slowly but surely let me put my teeth back in. Slowly but surely making progress on the trap kit. That is awesome. Glad to hear it, Clay. Stephanie, hey, Stephanie, how are you? I owe you a response to your question. I haven't found out the answer. I will find it out. I'm sorry. Bug me. Marigold, those UK Halloween events sounded fun. One of the best haunts I've ever seen was in the UK in the early 90s. It was the Alien War experience. Have you been to that? Is that the one based on aliens? The one that was in London? I never went on it, but I wanted to go on it. I don't know why I didn't do it, but I wanted to do it. It looked freaking amazing. There's some videos online of it, and if anyone doesn't know about it, and you know on the channel, I've been doing some stuff. I've got a face hugger behind me on my Proton Pack right now. I love the Alien and Aliens franchise. Really enjoyed Romulus. Loved it. Love letters to the series. But yes, it was basically, and Margaret, you can mention. I mean, you can write and chat about stuff that you that you experienced when you did it. I'd love to hear what it was like for you. But basically, my understanding from what I saw of it was that you get to go in to. It's like the world of Alien, and there are Marines. It's like Aliens. And there are like Marines, and they're dressed up, and there's a xenomorph, and you're going through the corridors and tunnels like in the movie. Looked amazing. I'm pretty sure that there are some videos online somewhere that you can find of that experience. But yeah, it sounded amazing. Evan, hello! Welcome. Nice to see you. Eddie's saying, what is this year's theme haunt? So I went back and forth on this, and those of you that subscribe to the channel know I put a vote out on the channel to see what people would think, because I got so excited about Alien this year with all the Alien stuff going on that I thought maybe we should do Aliens this year. I am going to do Aliens, but not this year, because I really want to do it well. I want to build an animatronic xenomorph, and I want to build alien eggs. I mean, if you're going to do Aliens, you've got to walk through eggs, right? There's some things that have to happen on an alien walkthrough. They absolutely have to happen. So yeah, that's that's so this year is going to be Back to the Future. The plan is to have the DeLorean time machine here, and there will be a really cool time travel themed haunt. And you're probably thinking, how is Back to the Future a haunt? Is it going to be fun? It's going to be good. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. People can get to take photos with the car. They get to experience kind of living in the world of Back to the Future. There's some jumps. There's some scares. There's going to be some kind of escape room type things to have to do. It's going to be super cool. Really, really good. Clay, I'm glad you're doing well. I'm doing well, thank you. Yeah, it's been a freaking long day today, and I'm super tired, and I have had no time to edit anything this week, so I thought I'm going to get on the live stream and talk to people. That is what I'm going to do today. And by the way, if you're enjoying the live stream, hit the like button. That sends more people here through the algorithm. It shows engagement, that you're interested, and that you're enjoying being here. Evan's saying that they still have the pin that I gave them. Thanks. That's cool, Evan. That's great. Born is saying, did you watch Gremlins when you were younger? I did watch Gremlins and loved it. Gremlins is one of my favorite movies. That is another haunt that I would love to do. Another Halloween experience. Imagine a Gremlins Halloween experience. And also, we're going to get Stranger Things Season 5 next year. I'm thinking Stranger Things would be a really good one to do as well. So, too many choices. I mean, that's good though, right? I get to do one every year, and we can change it up every year. Evan, wow, you're getting excited on chat. What are you saying here? Thanks for mentioning me. You are welcome. I'm all right, chilling in my room, about to go out some with my dad. That's awesome. Say hi to your dad. Hi, Evan's dad. I hope you have a good time together. Um, let's see, what else he's saying? Oh, I hope I get a chance to see the PKE meter. I hope I get a chance to see it, the HasLab PKE meter. Yeah. Um, yes. I'm really hoping they appear soon. There's been no announcements from HasLab. And I don't know if you noticed, they've got the HasLab presentation coming up, and there was no mention of Ghostbusters on it, so I don't know where they are with that. Let's see, Eddie, will you be filming a walkthrough for those of us that can't experience it in person? Thank you, Eddie. Yes, I will. So I'll be doing two things. I'll do a live stream, a kind of walkthrough live stream, I think, which would be fun. And I'll try and, as you know, I'm quite bad at advertising these live streams because my life is not very good at I have so much going on in my life. It's very hard to get on top of things sometimes. But yes, so I will do a live stream and I'll walk you guys through. I'll probably do a couple, one during prep and one during the actual thing. And then I will do a full video, actually get some other folks to come in and film it because I'm usually an actor in it. I usually will end up posting that close to Halloween of the next year just because it's, you know, people are not interested when you put out a Halloween video 3 weeks after Halloween. But I probably will, I can and probably will put up something for members before next Halloween. So anyway, yeah, there'll be content. I'll share photos. I will do a live walkthrough, and I will try very, very hard to advertise it ahead of time. Hopefully that answers your question, Eddie. Evan's got some news. Oh, thanks, Evan. Yeah, it was fun meeting you at Ghostbusters Day as well. We met at Ghostbusters Day. That was super. Ghostbusters Day was so much fun. I had so much fun at Ghostbusters Day. That was such a great day. Let's see. Evan's going back to Ghostbusters Day next year. I think I probably will be. I don't think it's something I'm going to miss, and I'll probably live stream again, like I did from Ghostbusters Day. I'm sure there'll be a few folks that are on the live stream that are here. I'm sure Eddie, hopefully Eddie will be there as well, I bet. Right, what else? Borna saying is laughing at your jokes. There we go. Okay. Oh, Evan's getting glasses just like mine. There you go. I like these glasses. They're good glasses. That's cool. So yeah, so any other thoughts or questions or things that you like or dislike about Halloween haunts? I'd love you to let me know. Eddie's saying I missed it. Where will I be? So yeah, anything else about Halloween that you want to discuss? I'm happy to chat about it. And what I should also share is the dates for the haunt. So if any of you are in New Jersey, and this is going to go up on experienceexplorers.com, there will be, took me a long time to get through that email, that web address, experienceexplorers.com. You can tell I've had a long day. Anyway, it's going to go up on experienceexplorers.com, and you'll be able to book a slot, and it will give you more information about it. If you're in New Jersey or close to New Jersey on the 31st of October, the 1st of November, or the 2nd of November, we will be running the haunt for those 3 nights. So those are the 3 nights that you need to be here if you want to participate in the haunt. And getting back to what we were talking about earlier, we were chatting about, well, I was chatting about we all what? What are you saying, buddy? I was talking earlier about story creation for a haunt, and taking people on a journey in a haunt experience. And I think one of the things that can really help if you're trying to come up with a haunt for yourself, if you're doing something at home, is to think about it as like you're writing an actual story. So a story typically doesn't have to, but typically a basic story has a 3-act structure. So beginning, middle, and an end. And there's some kind of stakes involved. So, you know, you're trying to achieve something or trying to do something, or there's, you know, somebody needs saving, whatever it might be. And so for a haunt situation, coming up with that structure of 3 acts can be incredibly helpful. And if you look for it, you know, when you go to haunts this year, really good ones, you'll see some of that stuff happening. But so for our haunt this year, with Back to the Future, obviously there'll be some kind of pre-show with the pre. I don't want to spoil it because I don't want to spoil it for those that are coming, but there'll be a pre-show involving the car and probably an old JVC video camera. Um, in fact, I've got that around here somewhere, somewhere hidden, and some kind of message from possibly a famous doctor, and then you'll transition into the thing that you're there to do. So as participants, it's always great to kind of come up with an idea that like the participants are here for a reason. They're coming to help solve something, or they're coming to do something very specific. And then when they come into that part of the story, so the middle part of the story, then you know they're really participants. They've got to solve this problem and they've got to help with this issue, or you know that something's going to happen, and then they have to help and be part of that experience and solve for it. And then at the end, what I typically want to do is, you come to that moment where you're like, oh no, all is lost. What are we going to do? And then you have to, and because it's a haunt, you got to have a big scare at the end, right? Where people run, run for their lives. Stephanie saying, would love to come by. Yeah, I was saying, Stephanie, check out the website. There's already a spot, if you haven't already, to register interest. So if you go to experienceexplorers.com, you can register interest, and that'll put you on the mailing list. And as soon as and I say tickets, it's totally free, and people can turn up all night. They don't have to even book a slot. But booking a slot means that you can turn up at that time and you're going to get in. It's kind of almost like prioritization for those that have tickets. But then anyone else that turns up, last year on Halloween, we had so many people just turn up from the town that we just put anyone in as soon as we could get them in. But obviously the people that had tickets, they had a slot and they were always checked in first. So that's kind of how we do it. But all tickets are free. Okay, awesome. So yeah, question to you. What has been your favorite ever Halloween haunt or haunted house? Let me know now in the chat. You have 10 seconds. Quick, type it in. Go for it. And especially those of you that are just sitting there going, I'm just listening. I don't have to type anything. I don't have to interact. Interact now. Tell me, what is it? What is your favorite ever haunted house experience or haunted house theme? Buddy's saying Ghostbusters. Good one. Frozen Empire. Evan, did you go to the Frozen Empire walkthrough yet? Did you do it? I'm going in October, beginning of October, and I will live stream from Universal Studios because it's a super fun one. Stephanie saying Summit Avenue Cemetery in Hawthorne. Ooh, is that? Tell me more about that, Stephanie. I'm always up for a good haunt here in New Jersey. Maragot is saying West Coast wise Knott's Berry Farm crushes it. I've heard that and I've never been, but everybody tells me that it's really, really good. I remember actually I was there, it was many years ago now. I was there just before the season was beginning. Back in my old career as a filmmaker, I was over in Burbank and I was driving. Anyway, I was driving past there, and it looked cool. It looked like it was going to be good, and I've never done it, so I need to get back out there and do it. Stephanie's saying that the Summit Avenue Cemetery in Hawthorne is a scary but awesome haunted house, sort of. Okay, I'm definitely checking that out. That sounds good. Buddy's saying that they're a young, kind of older filmmaker. Cool. That's awesome, buddy. Yeah, I know you've been working on some movie ideas, which is cool. Margot's saying, definitely let me know if you do. I will join you. All right, you're on. You're definitely on. I'm up for that. That would be fun. It would be fun to meet up as well. It would be super cool. Oh, Stephanie just submitted, and you know what? I saw it pop up. I saw the website tell me somebody had subscribed. There you go. Thank you, Stephanie. That's awesome. Um, and I think everyone here is a subscriber. But if you're not, or you're brand new and you've not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Go on, do it. I know you want to. I know you want to do it. And if you're already subscribed, don't hit it because it'll unsubscribe you. And we don't want that. That is not what we want. We don't want that to happen. Buddy's on fire with their ideas for their movie, which is always good. Being on fire is good in that scenario. In other scenarios, it's a bad thing. But with ideas, good. Other ways, bad. Just making that clear if you didn't know that already. This channel is also educational. I hope you know that. Gremlins fan, hello, welcome back. Good to have you here. We were talking about Gremlins earlier as a Halloween theme. We were just saying that Gremlins would make a really, really good Halloween haunt. I think, was it Buddy or Evan asked me if I'd watched that movie when I was a kid, and I said, of course, yes, I had, that I loved it, and that it was very, very good. Yeah, so there you go. And Gremlins fan, we're asking people to put in the comments their favorite Halloween experiences. We've had a few folks. We've had Knott's Berry Farm on the West Coast. We've had this creepy cemetery place, which sounds fun, which is not far from where I live. And somebody said Ghostbusters Frozen Empire at Universal Studios. So yeah, and Evan saying, oh, Saving the Day is playing where they are right now. Thanks, buddy. Love this channel. Everyone who is new, sub to Experience Explorers. Thank you. Do it. Yes, sub now. Sub now to, I mean, this is our kind of tagline. Why can't I speak today? Explore, experience, create. Oh dear. There we go. Morrigot is saying, with Back to the Future on your list, what other non-horror theme would you like to make a haunt around? Ooh. That is a really good question. Indiana Jones would be fun. I would have to call on you for some help with that one. I think you may have some experience there. But that would be a fun one to do. That is a really good question. I haven't thought. You know, the ones that have been circling in my mind have been Back to the Future. Partly, I will fully admit, a lot of the audience on this channel came here because of Ghostbusters. And I did a poll, and a lot of people's second favorite thing was Back to the Future. So that was partly what motivated it for me. But I also love Back to the Future and loved the original Universal Studios ride, and thought if we could have the car here, because we had the car from Ghostbusters here last year, having the car is a big draw for people. People love seeing the car. And then I had this kind of idea for what we could do to have a lab next to the car and have some cool things happening. So that's what kind of drove it for me. But the other ones are more horror, like Alien, like Stranger Things, like Gremlins. But I also think we have so many kids turn out, so having something that's not too horrific can be good, but Alien is going to be scary. Sometimes when we've done these back in the UK, we used to do earlier walkthroughs of the haunt that were, there was like a more kid-friendly one. I mean, they're always family-friendly, you know, they're never kind of, I never do anything in the R space. They're always kind of PG-13, maybe a little bit over sometimes. But they're usually family-friendly, but it really depends on how much space you have for scariness. So, you know, I'm never sure, but yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's a really good question, Morgot. That's good. Evan's asking me which Universal Studios I'm going to. It will be Florida, which is closer to me. I haven't been to Universal in Hollywood for so long, and I'm really hoping to go next year. Gremlins fan, my favorite is Trick or Treating. I love Trick or Treating with my brothers and parents and getting jump scared a lot. Yep, love it. See, that sounds like a perfect Halloween right there. Evan saying, great Scott. That will be said a few times this Halloween. Where I got Back to the Future is 10 out of 10. It's. I mean, we had a conversation about this ages ago when we were talking about movies, particularly after I'd been at the premiere of Ghostbusters, and we were talking about the perfect movie. Like, what makes a perfect movie? And I would stick my neck out and say that Back to the Future is a perfect movie. I would stick my neck out there and say that. I think it genuinely is. There's a few perfect movies out there, and Back to the Future is an example of one of those. Buddy's saying this Halloween that they're dressing as a Ghostbuster and busting a ghost. Nice, I like it. And my Ghostbusters company name is Ghostbusters LSU. Nice. But not official yet. Got it. CS Film World. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. Stephanie's saying it is a perfect movie. It just is. There are movies that fit that category of just being. They just work, and especially some of those movies that retain their watchability and their enjoyment many, many, many years later. I mean, that's an old film now, which is terrifying to think how old some of those movies are. Yeah, anyway, but yes. Buddy's saying that they give Back to the Future a 9.9. It's a good score. It's a good score. It's pretty perfect, and it holds up really well. And I think, some of you know my friend Nick, who has the incredible Ecto-1 NJ, in fact, his website went live today. So you've heard it here. It's called Gotham Cinema Rides, based out of New Jersey. And on the website is now live. You can inquire about the cars and stuff, but there are 3 official cars available right now for people to have at their, special events and things. There's the Ecto-1, which you'll have seen. There's also the Back to the Future time machine, and there is a Batman, an 1989 Tim Burton Batman Batmobile. Those are the 3 cars that officially have been announced. There are more. More are to be announced. But the website went up today, and so you can check out those cars. And also, the other thing you should know, if you're interested in this, is that the tours of New York City in the Ecto-1 begin in October. I think the first tour date may be October the 2nd, and tickets are now available online for those tours. So yeah, you can go out there and you can get yourself a tour in the Ecto-1. Gremlins fan is saying Gizmo is on fire. Did you put Gizmo in the light? What did you do to Gizmo? Eddie's saying the perfect haunt, I think, is like a good ride. I love that, Eddie. That's a great description. You have a great way of putting things, Eddie. I love it. Everything is going as planned until there is a major problem which takes you on an adventure. I love that. That reminds me of the River Rapids, Jurassic Park River Rapids, right? That is a perfect... One of the best things, I think, I don't know about you, about Jurassic Park as a ride in a theme park is that it's the perfect conceit for a ride. You're already in a theme park, and then you're going to go on a ride. You expect that, and then something goes wrong on the ride when you're in a theme park, which is just, I mean, it almost couldn't be a more perfect theme for a ride. And, Velocicoaster is amazing. And River Adventure, it's old now, and I know they've updated it in Hollywood, and I have not seen that. Well, I have seen the version, but I've not ridden it for myself. I would love to. But yeah, anyway, you know what I'm saying. It's just great. Let's see. But yeah, that idea of a major problem which takes you on an adventure is a really great way of looking at how those stories unfold. It's really terrific. Yeah. CS Film World. Cameron saying, oh, Cameron, I must have missed what you said here. Oh, dressing up as a character for my film. Sorry, Cameron, I missed that. His name is Zamander. He took over New Denborough by turning people into his mindless terrors of monster zombies from a gas called the ghoul toxins. And he built his own castle in the center of the city. Dude, Cameron has some pretty awesome ideas for movies, I need to tell you folks. That's awesome. Buddy's saying, next Halloween, Matt, can you do an Ecto-1 ride? Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, like, you can literally do an Ecto-1 ride. You can literally go to Gotham Cinema Rides and you can buy a ticket to ride in the Ecto around New York. And Eddie, who is on the live here, Eddie and I hung out together in the Ecto. And that was a lot of fun. We did that literally after Ghostbusters Day. It's pretty awesome. Right. I just realized I need to plug power into my phone because otherwise it will run out of power and that will not be good. So I will let you look at the background while I mess around with power. Here we go. Okay, I've got power in there now. We're good. It's okay. It's all good. We're saved. You got to put up with me for longer now. Buddy's saying Titanic. That's an interesting idea. You know, I did a really good walkthrough at Universal. I don't know how many years ago it was now, but it had an underwater house. And the idea of it was that the people, they were in an underwater base station and some kind of disease had crept in and all of the people were being taken over by what looked like kind of barnacles on their faces and growing octopus type limbs and things. It was really fun and very creepy. And I was there with my eldest son, Jacob. And all I remember from that house is it had so many jump scares. And I don't know if you've ever had this happen to you, but you sometimes end up being the person in the conga line in those places at Universal that you get jumped out on by everything. You get caught. And I got every single scare, like over and over, and it was like just blasting. and I adopt what I call the Scooby-Doo pose when I'm in a house, haunted house. It's this kind of like pose and a speed of walk that I do. And I just remember my son Jacob just laughing hysterically the whole way through as every corner jump scare. And I was just like, you know, screaming with both terror and delight at the same time, as you do in those things. And that was an underwater themed, like a shipwreck type themed haunt, and it was one of the best. Right. Clay is saying, Clay is building a ghost trap. For the ghost trap, I found something that will make the light inside look like the one from the movies. Should I use that or keep the green lights? I'm assuming you're talking about like a really bright white light that kind of comes out. I think you can do that. I mean, I think that's a great idea. If you've got the time and energy and interest in doing that, having a really bright white light, that, my understanding from seeing videos and talking with Ben Eady, is that was, they had an incredibly super bright LED in some versions of the trap, the ones that needed to open and create that kind of glow. So yeah, I'd go for it. I even saw somebody mix fans and smoke with that bright light, and it almost made that kind of vertical, that cone shape coming out of the trap. Looked amazing. So yeah, go for it. Eddie was just referencing my comment about our ride in New York and saying that we had a hell of a ride that night through the streets of New York. We did, in many ways. Nothing quite like that energy. Freaking awesome. Riding the Ecto through New York is, talk about haunts and adrenaline rushes. That is an adrenaline rush all of its own. There's nothing like it. Nothing like it. Let's see. CS Film World. Have an idea for Orlando Universal Studio Jurassic Park. It's where you go on a gyrosphere ride to drive alongside dinosaurs, and a storm was coming in, and the raptors get loose. That's a cool idea. That would be fun. And apparently there's some gyrospheres in the new parade. Apparently. Buddy's saying, do you know Titanic is starting to bye-bye? Yeah, I know that it's kind of deteriorating day by day. Evan, got a Universal Pass for the entire year until the end of December. Nice, nice. Do you think you can make it by then? Make what? Sorry, what am I making? Make it there to Universal, or make something? I think you mean make it there. I think I'm planning to be there in October. That is the plan. Is the hope. And Buddy's talking about the Ghost Trap. For the Ghost Trap clay, I would use the white one because it looks like the movies. Yeah, I agree, Buddy. I totally agree. So yeah. Who else on the call has been to Universal Studios? Let me know. On the call, you can tell I've been at work a lot this week, can't you? Well, I mean, I work every day, so I'm at work a lot every week. But you can tell I've been on calls. I'm calling this a call. It's a live stream, Matt. Get your act together. So cool. Yeah. So let me know if you've been. Buddy hasn't. Buddy's saying that they have not been to there. It's super good. If you get a chance to go, and you can go, it's good. And if you don't get a chance to go, I recommend you go on a haunt this year. Find a haunt to go on, and have fun with that. One of my absolute favorite haunts that we ever did. Oh, Buddy's going to be busy with movies and editing. Yeah, one of my favorite haunts that we ever did was the Jurassic World one that we did last year. And actually, Morigo, who's on the call, I did it again on the live stream. So funny. Actually, gave me some advice because I had to do some animation of some shadows of velociraptors, and that was a super fun thing to do. So we actually used a huge space outside for that experience, and we had an animatronic dinosaur, and you can check out the channel. You can see there's the whole process of me making that. Ecto, so I was just mentioning earlier about, were you listening, Ecto1NJ, when I was talking about this? Not ready for all the builds coming to the shop? Let them know. Yeah, so I was literally just I was sending people to the website and saying 3 official cars right now are on the website. More to come. Many more to come. So yes. So check out Gotham Cinema rides. And if you want to ride in we've been talking about riding in the Ecto through the city earlier. Morigot saying your Raptors look great. Thank you. Yeah, well, I mean, that means a lot. coming from you, that means an awful lot. So thank you. But yeah, it was a lot of fun because there was a scene, and this is actually one of the scenes I'm most proud of, because we had these shadows of raptors in the kind of final show scene of the experience. There was a raptor nest with some eggs, and then this kind of area where there was some dust sheets and covers and stuff, because the house had been put into quarantine because they found dinosaur eggs there. And then you saw the 2 shadows of these raptors, and we had Max, my son, who was playing security guard, interact with the shadows of these raptors. So he has a laser thing and takes one of them out with this, and that was all kind of interactive. He was able to sync that. But then the best part of it is that he would then go inside to where the raptor is, so kind of behind where you could see the shadow. And when you see shadows, very often you're like, that's a projection, right? It's a projection. But what was super cool was you saw the shadow of the raptor, then he goes behind and also creates a shadow himself. And then you see him doing the whole Chris Pratt thing, the holding his hand up, stay to the raptor, and the raptor moves backwards. and you see his actual shadow interacting with the shadow of the raptor, and people were like, wait, wait, what's happening here? It looked so freaking good. And then he comes to a very unpleasant end. So yes, but I was really proud of it because it looked so realistic in the setting and created a really cool experience for people coming in. And I think it was, again, what you really want to achieve when you're building a haunt or something like that is you create at that moment, you create that thing, and when you see people having a visceral reaction to it, really getting excited by it, that is all the pay you need for the experience. It's so cool. Ecto saying, riding the Ecto, meh. It's your thing, Nick. Buddy's thinking of building a Ghostbusters proton meson grenade. Ooh, interesting. That's cool. Eddie's responding to Nick. Riding the Ecto, meh? What? I can hear your voice, Eddie, right now. Cameron, you have been to the parade at Universal Studios and saw them. I think I saw photos on your Instagram. I'm pretty sure, or you told me that you did. I went on the cruise and left out in Miami and went, yes, you told me. Yeah, that sounded amazing, Cameron. Clay's got his answer. It's a light. We're going to put the white light in there. Eddie and Nick, thank you guys. Buddy says that they love Jurassic Park. Riding the Ecto 1A, meh, too tired. Wow. Well, you know, I mean, if that doesn't get your blood racing, I don't know what will. Other than the haunt that I'm doing this year. So if you really want to get your blood racing, come to our Halloween haunt. That is going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, it's interesting because the haunt is going to be held. Oh, am I ignoring you, Gremlins fan? I'm sorry. I'm not meaning to. What did you say? Oh, I saw the video you posted. It does suck that YouTube didn't give you a play button with so many subscribers. Yeah, I mean, officially, they don't give you one until 100,000. But they used to give, I think many years ago, they used to give you something at 10K. But now so many people have got 10K. So I made my own, as you see behind you. My favorite part about it, Alexa, make the play button green. Pretty cool. I do like that part of it. Cool. Okay. CS Film World, can you try and come to Connecticut and help me build a haunted maze in October? I don't think I can, Cameron. I have so busy, so freaking busy at the moment. I have, I think, including my trip for vacation, I've got multiple trips for work all over the United States, plus trying to build my own haunt. It's just going to be, October is by far the craziest month for me. And also we have New York Comic Con coming up as well. So that's a huge thing happening here as well. So I'm sorry, Cameron, but I'd love to know more about your haunted maze and what you're doing. Buddies wants to ride the Ecto 1 in a gunner seat. Hey, did you see my video? I have a video with me chatting with AC, who actually got to do that. She was the stunt double for McKenna. AC's absolutely lovely human, and she absolutely loved the experience of riding in that gunner seat. As terrifying, I think I'd find it terrifying, but she loved it. It was a real rush. Morgot saying, are there any props you can show tease for your Back to the Future haunt? Well, I haven't got very far, but something you'll see behind me on the floor here, I have this old chest. So I actually picked up 2 of these, and these are just basically kind of like a flight case type chest. But what I'm doing with this one is I've been sanding it down, and actually this stuff that you can see on here, it's pretty heavy, and I was patching some holes in it. But I'm making it silver because what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a box for holding the radioactive material. So I'm going to build it. It's a little bit bigger than the one in the movie, but that's okay. I want it to kind of stand out in the horn, and it's going to be a prop that people get to use. So that's one thing I'm doing. So the idea was that I'll, I don't know if you can see this. The idea is that I'll, this will be yellow and silver, and then I'll put the stickers and everything on it that you need to make it look like the plutonium storage. And then I've got another one which is very similar to this, but I'm keeping that old and making that look old, and it's going to have EMB on it, Emmett ELB, Emmett L. Brown, yes, on it, as those initials, and for another part in the horn, because obviously this is about time travel. There may be some clues, some things inside that older chest. So I'm working on that. That is heavy. It literally is heavy, because inside it there's a bunch of props. Actually, I'm going to open this up because I bought a bunch of. Let me see what's in here. Let's see if I can open this. Oh no! Where is the key? This is a great thing to discover in a live stream, that you've actually lost the key to the thing that you're building. I found it. I've got it. Don't worry, folks. All is well. All is well. I went round some, because I was trying to look for some stuff that I could use as props. And I was looking for some 80s looking stuff. So, you know, that's a super 80s looking clock right there. And then this thing, which is actually strictly 90s, but I was thinking that's a cool kind of prop with some switches, and it'll be kind of fun to interact with for people. It's part of the set. And then I got these incredible fake wood radios, clock radios from the 80s. I've got two of these that are like a perfect 80s look. So again, we're going to be building some stuff that involves and includes these literal 80s things. So I want to recreate a big stack of clocks and you know, other mechanisms and things for time travel, like you'd expect to see in Doc Brown's workshop. So that's the plan. I probably need to go to a few more estate sales to find some more stuff, but that's the intent anyway, is to use some of those things for that. So yeah, but I've got a lot to do. I was saying about having time. Oh my gosh, you know, tomorrow morning, the first thing I've got to do is crack on with starting to build the space, because also I've got to start putting up walls and other stuff. There's lots to do. Let's see. Cameron's going to Comic-Con. Cool. Hopefully I'll bump into you. Buddy's saying, we're not going to talk about the alien on the ripping the proton pack apart. Yeah, you know what? It's my pet face hugger up there. So this this up here, this is actually the NECA face hugger, and it's freaking awesome. They're actually out of stock of these at the moment. They're going to be coming in stock hopefully soon. But I think that they underestimated the impact of Alien Romulus on people's interest in buying these things. But this is a freaking beautiful face hugger replica. And I just thought it would be fun as a bit of a crossover to have it on my proton pack up there. But yeah, yeah, I mean, look at this. It's great. And there is some posability in the fingers, not a lot. This is like a foam rubber with some kind of wash over the top of it. And my plan, I haven't had a lot of time, but my plan was actually to do a new paint job on this. Because as great as this is, you know me, I'm going to want to do a new paint job and to make this look a little bit more realistic. The other thing I really want to do is I would love to replace these air sacs on here with ones that moved in and out, like in the Alien films. I'd love to do that. But yeah, you can sit here and be my little buddy for the duration of things. Now I've put my iPad down. I need to look at the screen for what people are saying. Gremlin's saying, "Can I mention you in one of my videos?" I will try and remember. Become a member, and then you will get mentioned. Hey, What are you doing? My son is just here. What? What's this?
From Maggie.
Oh. Yes, okay, that's fine. Yes, just a message. Yes, so anyway, this is it. What are people saying? Eddie, phone is about to die, gotta run. Thanks, Eddie. Good luck on the haunt build. I'll talk to you later. Thanks, Eddie, appreciate it. Cool, yeah, so this is it, it's good. I highly recommend this. I mean, this may not be your thing, but yeah, it's fun. And then, if you watch my other videos, let me put this back up here, you will have seen the mod that I did. Whoa! I almost threw that across the room, literally. You will have seen the mod I did on this this alien. So this is one of the popcorn buckets that they had. Which one was it? Cinemark had a popcorn bucket, and this was it. And I was able to do a bit of a mod on it. I'm actually really pleased with this. If you look closely, I've tried to do like a kind of dappled color effect on the head here. And the big challenge was here, there's a lid that opens. And so I had to kind of cover this over and fix it up and make it look like it was one whole piece. Because of course, one of the most distinctive things, other than the double mouth thing, which you can't see in this version, but is the fact that there's this beautiful, large, smooth head. At least on most of the movies. In Aliens, they went away from this and made this slightly different, because apparently in the first movie, I don't know if you know this story, in the first film, this whole headpiece is actually a piece of clear plastic, acrylic, and there's a human skull inside here, type looking thing. And they had lots of problems. It would break, and it was really difficult. So actually in Aliens, they made this different into a slightly different molded look. So they didn't have quite as large a piece as this. And that meant that it didn't break as easily for production. But yeah, this was a fun thing to make as well. What's Buddy saying? Me and Matt bussing Ghost Story. There's a ghost. Let me. Loving your dialogue there. That's very good. Thank you. Cameron came up with an idea that you can make a millionaire probably. Dude, do it. Cool. There we go. If it's $1 million idea, don't tell people. Do it yourself, sir. So yeah. So that's it. So I'm going to put this back up on the wall and try not to throw it across the room. That's my plan. That's my hope. Let's hope that is the case. Oh, come on, stay. This is interesting. It's not going to stay now. Great. I don't even know how I got it up there in the first place. There's only one screw in the wall. Well, thank you, folks. It's been fun hanging out with you this evening. It's always good to chat. I'm gonna call it quits now, and I'll keep you updated on Instagram and on YouTube with what's going on for the Halloween Haunt. But thanks for joining the live stream, and as always, lovely chatting with you. It's always a pleasure. Thanks for joining in, and have yourself a fantastic evening. Yeah, let me know. I'll probably do another post, and we can talk about what we want to see in more of these live streams. And I'm hoping to put out some more Halloween-based content over the next couple of weeks. But the real challenge I've got is to try and build that content at the same time as building the haunt. So we'll see how that all goes, especially with my work ramping up. Always a busy season, this. But anyway, take care, folks. Lovely hanging with you this evening, and really appreciate you all joining the chat. I'll speak to you another time. Take care. Thank you.